Welcome to the video about the early warning signs of heart failure for today. Imagine if I told you that your body is currently providing you life-saving warning signs, but you're most likely ignoring them. Over 6 million Americans suffer from heart failure each year, yet most are unaware of the early warning signals until it's nearly too late. This is the startling reality. Most people ignore these early signs as stress, age, or being out of shape, according to medical study, but they are unaware that their heart is frantically trying to tell them something important. We're going to reveal 13 heart failure early warning symptoms today that most people totally ignore. Some of them may come as a surprise, such as the sudden need for additional pillows when you wake up in the middle of the night or a simple symptom that occurs when you bend over to tie your shoes. You'll know exactly what to look out for and when to get medical help after seeing this video. Let's examine these warning indicators that could save lives. Please be aware that this video is merely meant to be informative and should not be used in place of medical advice. Every study has been validated, and the description includes links to all sources. Let's start with the first symptom, which is shortness of breath during activity and may indicate heart problems. Shortness of breath during once-easy tasks is the first warning sign that most individuals dismiss as aging. This isn't about feeling exhausted after a strenuous workout. Rather, it's about being out of breath while walking to your mailbox or ascending a single flight of stairs. This kind of exertional dyspnea is one of the most prevalent and early signs of heart failure, according to data from the American Heart Association. When you engage in physical exercise, your heart isn't pumping blood effectively enough to meet your muscles' oxygen needs. Your lungs have to work harder to compensate when your heart isn't able to keep up, which makes breathing difficult. The progression is the primary distinction between symptoms of heart failure and ordinary weariness. This is your heart's scream for assistance if you find that once simple activities suddenly leave you out of breath, or if you need to pause and rest while performing daily tasks. According to medical research, this discomfort frequently manifests months before other overt heart failure symptoms. Don't write this off as just being out of style. The second indication, orthopnea, follows. The need for additional pillows to breathe comfortably while sleeping is a symptom that frequently develops so gradually that people are unaware it's odd. Orthopnea is a disorder that indicates your heart is having trouble pumping blood efficiently. Gravity ceases assisting your heart in pumping blood back from your legs and lower body while you are flat on your back. Blood can back up in the pulmonary veins, which are the channels that carry blood from your lungs back to your heart, if your heart is weak. Breathing becomes more difficult when you're lying down because of the fluid that leaks into your lungs due to this blockage. Approximately 80% of patients with heart failure have orthopnea, according to research from top cardiology institutions. The sluggish development of this symptom is what makes it so pernicious. In order to breathe easily, you may begin with 1 extra pillow, then 2, and finally end up sleeping in a recliner. Many justify this shift by claiming it's merely a matter of comfort or desire. Your heart is telling you something significant, though, if you've gone from sleeping flat to needing several pillows or even lying upright to breathe. The third symptom is Paroxysmal Nocturnal Dyspnea. Imagine waking up abruptly, feeling as though you are drowning, and gasping for air. You need to sit up or perhaps stand up to catch your breath because your heart is pounding and you're in a panic. Paroxysmal Nocturnal Dyspnea is a frightening symptom of heart failure that should be taken seriously. This symptom arises when fluid that has accumulated in your legs during the day redistributes throughout your body, including to your lungs, when you lie down for prolonged periods of time. This abrupt rise in fluid volume is too much for your already weak heart to tolerate, creating severe dyspnea that wakes you up. According to clinical research, This symptom usually manifests 2 to 4 hours after going to sleep and can be among the most terrifying things that heart failure patients might go through. In a desperate attempt to get some fresh air, the episodes frequently urge viewers to run to an open window or door. The fact that people frequently mistake these episodes for anxiety, sleep apnea, or nightmares makes this symptom especially worrisome. The precise pattern of waking up gasping for air, especially if it's getting more often, calls for an urgent medical evaluation even if these illnesses might produce sleep disruptions. The fourth indicator is exhaustion and a decreased capacity for exercise. The fourth warning sign, an overpowering exhaustion that makes regular tasks feel burdensome, is arguably the one that is most frequently disregarded. It's not your typical fatigue that goes away with rest. Rather, it's a chronic fatigue that persists even after getting enough sleep and makes things you used to like seem unattainable. Your body redirects blood flow from less important organs to key places like your heart and brain when your heart isn't pumping well. This results in a reduction of oxygen-rich blood flow to your muscles, which causes extreme exhaustion and weakness. According to studies, the symptom may manifest months before other overt indications of heart failure. The impact of chronic weariness on exercise tolerance is especially worrisome. After engaging in physical exercise, you may observe that your recovery period significantly lengthens. A quick stroll that used to give you energy now necessitates a long break. Grocery shopping, stair climbing, and even taking a shower turn into tiresome ordeals. People frequently adjust their lifestyles without noticing it since the process is so slow. They begin to blame age, shun activities, or make excuses. However, this gradual loss of endurance isn't a result of age. Rather, it's the result of your heart's inability to provide for your body's necessities. The fifth indication is swelling in the legs or ankles. Peripheral edema, or swelling in the ankles, feet, or legs, is one of the most obvious early indicators of heart failure. This is chronic swelling that worsens over time, especially at the end of the day, rather than the transient puffiness you could get from sitting for extended periods of time. Blood pools in your lower extremities due to improper circulation caused by an ineffective cardiac pump. Additionally, your kidneys begin to retain water and salt due to decreased blood flow. Swelling results from this combination, which pushes fluid from your blood vessels into the surrounding tissues. About 70% of patients with heart failure have peripheral edema at diagnosis, according to research published in prestigious cardiology journals. Usually, beginning in the ankles and feet, the swelling can spread to the thighs and calves. You may find that your shoes feel tight by evening, that your stockings leave deep indentations, or that rings that used to fit easily suddenly feel too tight. The pattern matters. Typically symmetrical, heart failure-related edema affects both legs equally and gets worse over the day as a result of gravity. It may be a warning indication if you apply pressure to the swollen area and it leaves an indentation that lasts for a few seconds. The sixth indication, fast weight gain from fluid, follows. Rapid weight increase brought on by fluid retention is arguably the most quantifiable early warning indicator of heart failure. We're not referring about gaining weight gradually through overeating. This is a sharp rise that could occur in a matter of days and need to raise concerns right away. According to American Heart Association medical standards, gaining 2 to 3 pounds in a single day or 5 pounds or more in a week should prompt you to call your doctor immediately. Your failing heart sets off hormonal reactions that lead your kidneys to retain water and salt, which results in this sudden weight increase. About 1 liter of extra fluid is present in your body for every kilogram of weight gain. Research highlights that this weight gain occurs prior to the onset of other symptoms. The scale doesn't lie, even if you don't feel any swelling or dyspnea yet. For this reason, doctors frequently advise patients with heart failure to weigh themselves every day. Hospitalizations can be avoided with the help of this early warning system. Normal weight fluctuations are not the same as the weight increase caused by heart failure. It is steady, upward, and frequently accompanied by a fullness or bloating sensation. The seventh indication is nocturia, or frequent urine at night. The sudden need to urinate more often at night than during the day, known as nocturia, is a symptom that regularly baffles individuals. This can be an early indication of heart failure that is frequently missed, even though many people blame it on aging or drinking fluids before bed. Fluid builds up in your lower extremities due to gravity when you're standing and moving about during the day. This fluid cannot be efficiently sent back to your kidneys for processing by your laboring heart. Gravity, however, aids in redistributing this accumulated fluid back into your circulation as you sleep. Urine production rises as a result of your kidneys working harder to handle the unexpected influx of fluid. Nocturia can be one of the first indications of heart failure, sometimes manifesting before more overt symptoms like swelling or shortness of breath, according to research published in Cardiology publications. Patients sometimes report having to urinate 3 or 4 times during the night, with each episode resulting in higher than normal quantities. Because it illustrates your heart's incapacity to manage normal fluid distribution throughout the day, this pattern is especially important. The eighth indicator is a nocturnal cough or wheeze while you're lying down. Another minor but important indicator of heart failure is a chronic cough that seems to only happen at night or while you're lying down. This is frequently characterized as a persistent dry cough that interferes with sleep and gets better when sitting up straight. It is not the productive cough of a cold or the dry cough of allergies. The same mechanism that produces orthopnea also generates this nocturnal cough. Fluid that has accumulated throughout the day may redistribute when you lie flat, which could result in a slight accumulation of fluid in your lungs. Coughing is your body's natural reaction to something that it believes is obstructing your airways. According to medical literature, this cough frequently gets worse in the early morning and occasionally has a tiny wheeze. Coughing up white or pink-tinged frothy mucus or producing little to no sputum are common complaints from patients, which indicates that fluid is in fact in the lungs. This symptom is especially misleading because it's frequently mistaken for allergies, postnasal drip, or sleep disorders. The ninth indicator is palpitations or an irregular pulse. Important early indicators of heart failure can be found in the rhythm of your heart. As your heart works harder to pump blood efficiently in the early stages of heart failure, you may have palpitations, which are the sensation of your heart fluttering, thumping, or skipping beats. Your heart may experience irregular rhythms as a result of its inability to maintain proper circulation as its muscle weakens. You may get the unnerving sensation of your heart skipping beats or feel as though your heart is racing even when you are at rest. Some say it feels like their heart is bouncing up and down in their chest. Heart arrhythmias, especially atrial fibrillation, are both a cause and an effect of heart failure, according to research from leading cardiology facilities. It is a reciprocal relationship. Cardiac failure can result from irregular cardiac rhythms, and deadly arrhythmias can be triggered by heart failure. This starts a vicious cycle that, if ignored, can get worse very quickly. Anxiety or uneasiness may accompany these palpitations, which are frequently more apparent when at rest or when lying down. Even though palpitations can have a variety of causes, they should be seriously evaluated by a doctor when they coexist with other heart failure symptoms. The 10th indicator is dizziness or instances of near fainting. Fearsome early signs of heart failure include lightheadedness, dizziness, or near fainting episodes. These symptoms arise because your weak heart is unable to pump enough blood to keep your brain adequately circulated, particularly while you are exerting yourself or changing positions. Your body often adjusts blood vessel tone and heart rate to maintain blood pressure when you get up fast or exert yourself. A failing heart, however, is unable to make these modifications efficiently, which results in brief reductions in blood supply to the brain. This causes lightheadedness, dizziness, or in extreme situations, fainting. According to clinical research, 20% of people with heart failure have syncope, which can occasionally manifest before other overt symptoms. The episodes are frequently brought on by abrupt movements, prolonged standing, or light exertion that wouldn't have bothered you in the past. The fact that this symptom is frequently mistaken for dehydration, adverse drug reactions, or inner ear issues makes it especially risky. Although they can undoubtedly result in vertigo, syncope is a significant reduction in cardiac output when paired with other heart failure symptoms. Next is indication number 11. Early fullness, weak appetite, or bloating in the abdomen. Although digestive issues may not seem to be connected to heart health, they can be early indicators of heart failure. These symptoms include chronic stomach bloating, loss of appetite, or feeling full after eating just little amounts. Heart failure affects your entire circulatory system, including the blood flow to your digestive organs, which is why these symptoms arise. Your gastrointestinal tract receives less blood when your heart is unable to pump blood efficiently. Furthermore, your liver may become clogged with blood that isn't being pumped effectively, and fluid may build up in your belly. Your quality of life may be greatly impacted by the series of digestive issues that result from this. According to research, people and medical professionals frequently ignore these gastrointestinal symptoms since they don't seem to be connected to cardiac issues. Patients complain of persistent nausea, bloating that doesn't go away with standard digestive therapies, or feeling uncomfortable after only a few pieces of food. The upper right abdomen may also hurt or feel uncomfortable due to hepatic congestion that happens in heart failure. Eating becomes challenging for some people due to a persistent sensation of fullness or pressure in their abdomen. Bendopnea, or shortness of breath when bending forward, is the next indicator, number 12. One of the most revealing early indicators of heart failure is bendopnea, a symptom so particular that most people have never heard of it. When you bend forward for 30 seconds, like when you tie your shoes, pick something up off the floor, or lean over a sink, you may have shortness of breath. Research has indicated that bendopnea is a very specific sign of raised heart pressure, and it was first described in medical literature in 2014. Bending forward causes your abdominal pressure to rise, which presses against your diaphragm and momentarily raises the pressure inside your chest cavity. This extra strain might cause dyspnea very rapidly if your heart is already having trouble with high-filling pressures. According to research in prestigious cardiology publications, almost 30% of heart failure patients have bendopnea, which is highly correlated with more advanced disease and a higher chance of death. Because the symptom is so accurate, researchers view it as a non-invasive alternative to invasive testing for measuring heart pressure. The distinctiveness of bendopnea is what makes it so important. Rarely do healthy people have this symptom. Next, indicator number 13, narrow pulse pressure or cold hands or feet. Changes in circulation that you may observe in your extremities are the last warning indication. Even in warm weather, cold hands and feet or a narrow pulse pressure may be signs that your heart isn't beating hard enough to keep your blood flowing properly. Your body reduces circulation to your hands and feet when heart failure sets in, giving priority to essential organs like your heart and brain. This results in consistently cold extremities, occasionally with a bluish tint to the lips or fingernails. Even when you're warm, you may notice that your hands and feet feel cold to the touch, or that they take a lot longer to warm up than normal. A more mild symptom that necessitates blood pressure monitoring is narrow pulse pressure. Your systolic and diastolic blood pressure values should typically differ by 40 mmHg or more. If this gap closes considerably, it may be a symptom of decreased stroke volume, which means your heart isn't beating hard enough. According to medical study, these circulatory alterations can be early warning signs of reduced cardiac output and frequently occur gradually. Don't freak out if you recognize any of these 13 warning signs, but don't disregard them either. Heart failure is a treatable illness if detected early. Understanding these subtle cues from your body and acting upon them before a medical problem arises is crucial. The most crucial thing to keep in mind is that these symptoms frequently appear gradually and are simple to ignore. You may believe that you're simply becoming older, stressed, or out of shape. However, your heart may be telling you something important if several symptoms occur at once, or if routine tasks suddenly become challenging. Your longevity and quality of life can be significantly increased by early detection and treatment of heart failure. From drugs that can strengthen your heart to lifestyle modifications that can halt or even reverse the disease's progression, modern medicine offers amazing tools to assist manage heart failure. Please leave a helpful remark if this video was beneficial. That encourages us to create more stuff of this kind. For more life-saving health information, kindly like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you taking responsibility for your heart health